Hey, this is Karila with Metal Life Magazine, and I'm here on the phone with me is Robbie Merrill from Godsmack. How are you doing, Robbie?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you for joining us here on Metal Life, and we are here to celebrate what's going to be a kick-ass release. We're talking about 1000 HP, and it's an album coming out just in about a month, right? How is your anticipation for the album?
August 5th is the date. I think there's a pre-release iTunes date, too, that's coming up. You can order it now, and then you get an extra song. You get the 1000 horsepower plus another track. If you order it early, actually what it is pre-order the album, and you get that extra track early.
Oh, that's awesome. You're posting webisodes leading up to the event. You've got about 5 webisodes. I know the first one premiered not too long ago. And since we don't have the other 4 to go off of, I would love to talk about your first one, where Sully kind of showed us around the Godsmack headquarters, which, by the way, fancier than most homes, I've got to say. So tell me a little bit about that headquarters. How often do you work there versus living there? Did it kind of become a home for you while you guys were recording the album?
Well, he said it, and we say it now. We should have done it a long time ago. But, at the end of the day, he was bouncing around California for years. The band had headquarters. We had all our equipment at, a bunch of storage bins, and it's like, we're like, you know what, let's run it all up and get it in one place. Right. Whenever we go up tour, we got to hire a bunch of people to go in there. We don't know what we have. So it got to a point where we looked for a building, and then the dude that you see in Sheetrock, he's a buddy of mine. He did my house, so he's a picture of James Al Doobie. Now we called him up, and we just started wheeling and dealing, and it was actually awesome because now, 2 of us still live in the area, so we could go home every day when we wrote the process, after the writing process, which took 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then we get to record it right there. And usually when you go to a recording studio, it's like $1,100 a day. So this is like a win-win. So we got our storage, and then we have our rehearsal space and practice space. So.
Yeah, and it's really cool because then that way you can make the rehearsal space it's not just a place of work. You kind of put a lot of relaxation into it, and I feel like with the TVs and the couches, the more you relax, the more you have a more natural flow for work.
Yeah, there's no stress. You don't have to worry about like when we go out to LA to rehearse, it's like $300 a day. It's like it adds up. You're there for 6 weeks. So when you're here, it's the kind of side of the money, you don't have to think about it. It's your place, and we just have to get a couple of rooms for the guys that moved down to Florida. The funny thing is, they moved down to Florida to stay warm, but we wrote and recorded it in the wintertime up north.
Right. Oh my God! Wow.
They were too happy about that. But it is what it is.
You've had albums with a little bit of a country edge, sometimes a little bit of blues, but this one I heard some remarks that this one has a little bit more of a punk edge. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of techniques that Godsmack used to make this album kind of more on the punk edge?
It's Tony Shedd and I would get together during the last couple of years and put down a bunch of tunes with no vocals, just riffs. So we probably presented Sully with 20 songs.
Wow.
And he had his 10, that's whatever he had. And we went in and we just started he felt like there's a couple of them that didn't have to be touched, you wouldn't touch them. So a lot of them got mixed and matched. And at the end of the day, you end up what you end up, and a couple of them, to me, it's more like a Foo Fighters type thing. The punk thing, it's a little aggressive. For instance, 1000 horsepower, that drum beat, I guess, that's more of a punkish type thing that we've never had on the record. So that's why we say, it's got that punk feel to it.
Right, and I also know you've posted a lot of videos with chromatics and techniques that you use when you're in the studio. What are some things that you did differently for you personally as the bass player that you put into this album that maybe you haven't done in a long time, or something new for this album?
It's funny because you have different techniques when you live. If I raise my string hikes, I really bang hard live. There's a lot of aggression. But then when I go into the studio, I'll really work on my technique. String length height would be lower, and I'll play softer and not a lot of click. And I just go over things. When I'm in the studio, I call it wing it. I like to just move my finger and then whatever happens, happens, and then listen to it. If it works, keep it. Or if it's pretty good, I can make it better. I'll try to perform what I just did, but better. Spontaneous, you know?
Right.
And a lot of something that I've done in the past in the studio is that, spontaneous.
You've got a couple contests going on your website for album bundles, posters, and stuff like that. So if your favorite band was coming out with a super awesome bundle, and there was a contest for you to win it, what's the craziest thing you would do?
Jump out of a plane without a parachute?
Who would that band be? Who you would dedicate that honor to?
I have a couple of favorite bands. Rush, Led Zeppelin, The Police. You know, I would jump out of a plane for any of those three. And
on another note, who do you think is a very underrated band or a musician that you would love to work with?
Underrated, huh? I don't know. One of my favorite bands that came out last 5 years is Kings of Leon.
Oh, wow.
I have all their records. I listen to them, and I don't know. Somebody turned me on to them, and I went to go see them, and they're a great band.
We're really looking forward to your album. That is going to be released on August 5th, is that correct?
August 5th, and we start touring August 15th with the Uproar.
And have a great rest of your day. We will see you on the Rockstar Uproar Tour.
Sounds good. And where are you located?
I'm in Los Angeles, actually.
Yeah, we're playing. I can't tell you where we're playing because it might not be out yet, but we're playing in that area, so gotta keep a lookout.